they only claim to be women in sociological and physiological aspects.
You just
I'm sorry, psychological. My bad.
you just defined woman biologically. So how can they claim to be a woman psychologically or socially if the only definition you gave was biological?
Well, because women are different sociologically, and then psychology. A trans woman has the psychology of a woman, but doesn't have the biological counterparts. I mean, partially agree with the statement. If you are taking is a trans woman, cis woman, of course, it's not okay. But if we're talking go ahead.
You're adding adjectives to the nouns. You haven't defined the noun. I want to know what the noun woman means. If it's adult human female, that excludes trans women. What are the other contextual definitions? So we have sociology and psychology. Let's start with the sociology first. What would be the sociological definition of woman that would distinguish them from men?
Well, I don't think there's any. I think you can agree with me on this. There's no objective, and like there's no objectives in sociology as far as identity goes.
I'm not asking you for anything objective. That wasn't my question.
Oh well, it's whatever is defined because women, biological women, cis women can be whatever they want in a sociological way.
This doesn't answer my question. You're saying that woman can be defined. Hold on. You're saying that woman can be defined sociologically. I'm asking you to describe to me the socially constructed characteristics that define women and distinguish them from men. That's not asking you for anything objective. That's me asking you to distinguish two categories. That's all I'm asking.
Okay, I got you. So like long hair, like all the physical characteristics and the way you dress and the things you decide to do and all those kind of characteristics.
Can men have long hair?
Oh, sure.
Okay, then it doesn't answer my question. I asked to define women in a way that distinguishes them from men. They both can have long hair, so that would be a common trait, not a distinguishing trait. So you have a...
Yeah. The psychological aspect of a trans woman.
No, you said they were different sociologically and psychologically. We're addressing the points one at a time. So we're talking about sociology right now. You said that women... Hold on. You said a woman can be defined sociologically. I'm asking you to define it sociologically. Define to me the socially constructed characteristics that define women. And
you don't think...
And distinguish
Sorry,
them,
I don't mean to cut you off. My bad.
and distinguish them from men. That's all I'm asking you.
Well, I'm saying that psychology plays a part into sociology. Sociology is purely subjective because that has to do with what we view each other as. I mean, women look very vast and different the same way trans women can look very vast and different.
Answer my question. You haven't described the social characteristics. You're just talking to talk. You didn't actually answer.
Okay, well, physical, like I physical characteristics, we don't agree with that. That's why I think the psychology part is important because you can have the appearance of a woman, a cis woman, but not have the psychology aspect, which makes you not a woman.
Keep adding adjectives to the noun. You haven't defined the noun. You said a woman was an adult human female, and you haven't defined anything else. The adult human female excludes trans women. Okay? I'm asking you for the other definitions in the context of sociology and psychology. I'm asking you for those definitions, and you're not answering. I asked you what were the social characteristics. The social characteristics were applicable to men, so it didn't distinguish them, which was the question. So if there's a psychological definition that you want to add, no, because you said that they were separate first, and now you're saying that they're both connected. What's the psychological definition, and how are they distinguishable from men?
Well, the psychological definition would be just having the idea that you are a cis woman.
That's a circular definition. You can't say the psychology of a woman is thinking that you're a woman. So that's just circular. So that didn't do you any justice.
Well, psychologically, cis women, think that they're women.
Can you stop adding adjectives to the noun? You can't say cisgender women. Cisgender is the adjective. I'm asking you to define the noun first. Stop adding cis, because you need to define the word woman first. Cisgender is the adjective that describes the noun. You need to define the noun first, Isaac. What does the noun mean?
Yeah, we have the same definition. Okay. I mean, that's the metric we use is the biological makeup. Okay. Sorry, go ahead.
Then trans women are not women then?
Biologically, they're not.
That was the only definition that you gave coherently. All the other definitions either included men or were circular.
I don't think it's circular like psychology.
I just explained how it was. You literally said the psychological definition of a woman is a person who wants to be a woman. That is circular. Yes, it is.
Yeah, but the whole purpose though is that it's allowing these people in a free space, and the thing is hate and all this stuff. I mean, the overall goal is for
What are you even saying? Are you just like, did you have like a script, like Kamala Harris, you just read from a teleprompter, you just talk? You don't actually listen to what anybody's saying to you? Because
okay. So
what are you even saying?
so my what I'm saying is that the overall goal is for what exactly? Like why does it matter
I
that?
want you to tell me what I just want you to tell me what a woman is.
Okay, so
That's all I want you to do.
I heard you explain
Hold
what you
on.
thought a woman was. Sorry, go ahead.
So far, the definitions that you gave, only one of them made sense, and the one that made sense excluded trans women. The other two either included men or were circular. Okay? So one was a category error and one was a circular reasoning fallacy. So I explained to you that both the definitions didn't make sense. The only one that made sense was the one, right, that you gave that excluded them, which was adult human female.
Okay.
I just
Oh,
want
okay. I got you now. Okay,
same thing the entire time. I don't know how
so
you're just getting what I'm saying.
so my okay. So my question would be, and this is going to clear everything up for me. So before we understood the biological difference between men and women, was there any way we knew who was a man and who was a woman?
No, because the original meaning of the words man and woman are directly tied to male and female. Just look at their etymology.
But did we always know that from the beginning of time?
Yes. That's how we came up with the words.
So the fifth, like, so about, so besides the obvious body parts, you're telling me that we knew the X and X chromosomes and XY chromosomes were different between man and woman.
Define sex by chromosomes. We've never done that at any point. Ever.
Okay.
So sex is defined by chromosomes. I don't know who told you that.
Okay, but you just talked about. I'm sorry, I don't want to misrepresent. Can you explain to me what what makes a man and what makes a woman?
Yeah, a woman is an adult human female, and a man is an adult human male.
Okay, so
Male
yeah,
is the organism, or the human in this case, the man would be the adult human who is of or primarily denoting the sex that produces small gametes. And then the adult human female would obviously be the adult human who is of or primarily denoting the sex that produces small gametes, large gametes, I'm so sorry. So,
okay,
right, so that would be the definitions.
okay, so okay, I got you.
Was
So I'm sorry, it's lagging. So 500 years ago, we knew the gametes of male and females.
the definitions of male and female are way older than 500 years old.
Okay, but I'm saying we knew that from the beginning that the gametes were different between man and woman.
Yes, that's how we came up with the words. I just said this. The original meaning of the word woman is literally a female human in relation to her husband. It means wife of man. That was the original definition of the word woman.
I understand that part, but I'm saying the metrics at which you decide which is male and female.
Yes, based on reproductive anatomy. Yes, I just said this. Why do you keep asking me the same question? I just said yes. And by the way, just to clarify, hold on, just to clarify, whether or not we actually did know, and just to clarify, even if I granted you that we didn't know, those differences were still objectively there. So we don't have to conceive of those differences as far as biological sex is concerned for them to actually exist. Just to clarify.
Okay.
The existence of biological sex is not contingent upon the human mind. It's going to exist whether or not we do conceive of it. So no. We don't even, that doesn't even address my point. We don't have to know the difference between the two for there to be an objective difference. Sex is objectively different. The two sexes are objectively different from each other.
So what makes it objective is that one has gametes of one kind, and then
what makes something objective is that it is stance independent or mind independent. So I don't have to have a mind, or the existence of that thing is not contingent upon my mind or contingent upon my thought process or my psychology. The biological differences between the sexes existed before we even created the words. The words were just used to describe what was already there.
yes, but when we put terms onto them, when we put terms onto things, we need to understand where, like, what goalpost are we using. So gametes is our goalpost of what we define man and woman. I mean, it's true of the biology, but when we put terms on it, we have to understand where we're putting our goalpost as. Okay, well, if they have these gametes, then they're male. If they have these gametes, they're female. But obviously, because there's trans women and these women exist and intersex, obviously the goalposts don't cover everybody, or else we wouldn't have this issue in the first place.
No, intersex people are not excluded. That was just a load of yak. Can you name an intersex condition?
No, okay, I'll take that out of there. I'm sorry, I didn't mean. Yeah, I just meant men.
Why do you guys come up and do this all the time? Y'all bring up intersex people and don't even know the name of the condition. Stop doing this to yourselves. You just end up embarrassing yourself. Stop bringing up intersex people, because if you knew anything about them, you would know that we are either male or female. So stop intersex people. So just stop. You guys come up.
We can disregard. I'm sorry about that. Just disregard that part. I'm talking about my overall point, though.
Okay, you haven't told me what a woman is. You've gone through a lot of. You gave me a nothing burger with a side of word salad, and I didn't really get the definition of the word woman from you that actually included trans women, which is what you're supposed to be trying to do.
Well, I don't think yours is objective either. I just asked you why did we determine that gametes.
I never said the definition was objective. There's no such thing as an objective definition of a word. Definitions are all subjective because the words, every single word that we've created, is socially constructed. But the concept, the physical material reality, is objective. Two different things. So adult human females, adult human females, those kinds of humans would exist objectively. But the words itself, adult, human, and female, are subjective. Do you not see the difference there?
Yes, I understand. Okay,
then you haven't answered my question. I told you.
I'm saying
you haven't answered my question.
Okay, but I think you're pulling away from my point, which is something that you can't answer.
You don't have a point.
Yes, I'll make it clear and concise right here. I'm saying since we agree that it's subjective on the level you're referring to
the words are subjective.
Yes, yes.
Not the physical material reality. The word doesn't mean it doesn't have a meaning. You're not.
I'm saying you. No. I'm saying you're arguing over the word. You're saying this isn't a woman. You're arguing over the word, and I don't think you can do that if you don't have an objective stance on it.
Yes, you can. You could just argue the definition. It's called a semantic dispute. You've never had a semantic dispute with someone over the meaning of a word before?
I'm saying no one is. Like that's what when I talk about the sociological and when talking about the psychology.
Do you hear yourself? You're just saying words. You're not making any sense. What are you even saying? What are you saying? Are you listening to yourself?
Yeah, I'm trying not to cut you off.
What are you saying?
I'm saying you're disputing over a word. Yeah. And then when I'm telling you that word on a different level other than biological, and that's where we're having the disagreement is.
You said stop. I don't think you understand. I didn't say you couldn't have a different definition of the word. I just asked you to give it to me. And when you did, we made sure to point out to you where the flaw was. You're not listening. I didn't say the word woman can't have another definition. I'm saying if you want to give me one, make it make sense. Make it be coherent. When you defined the word woman, you were circular, one, and the other definition included men, which is a fallacy we call a category error. So I didn't say to you, you can't have another definition of the word because words are objective. That was never what I said. I said your definition is fallacious. That's all that I said. So you're not listening. You're just straw manning.
I got you.
Is there anything else?
I would just close my part saying that I enjoyed the conversation and everything, but my whole morality is based on making sure that everyone their well-being is best interest. And I think by demonizing people like this, the way you are and the way you're bringing hate on it is not helping that case. And so even if you are definitionally right, you're hurting the well-being.
Stop. This is just a lot of virtue signaling. How am I demonizing people? You can unmute now because I didn't want you to keep virtue signaling. Y'all just say they're most right.
Because
how am I dehumanizing trans women by saying they're not women?
Demonizing, not dehumanizing. Sorry. Because there's extremists. I don't think you're one of these, but people will see stuff like this and they take it to an extreme, and then it becomes where these women are attacked.
What does that have to do with me? You said me. You said I am the one doing it. If I say to you,
Because
no, stop. If I say to you, we should persecute robbers and we should throw them in jail, for example, that's my opinion. And then extremists go around graping the robbers and taking their children. Is that a result of me, or is that a result of somebody else misconstruing what I'm saying?
a result of them, yes, of course, yeah.
Okay, so if I say my simple belief, and I'm not an extremist, is that trans women are not women and they don't belong in women's spaces, and some other nigga goes ahead and kills trans women, what the fuck does that have to do with me? I'm not condoning it, and I'm not perpetuating it. I'm saying they're not women. That's the only thing I'm saying. Okay, so then it doesn't have anything to do with me.
I'm saying that the platforming this like this, people take this to extreme, and they're unpractical. They don't think by logic.
What does that have to do with me?
I'm saying you're arguing over things like these where people take this to an extreme, and there's people in this comments
What
that hate.
does it? Oh my, okay, I'm gonna drop it. You're not making any damn sense.
Okay.
You're just gonna keep repeating. I'm literally. It has nothing to do with me. It has nothing to do with me. I have never condoned violence towards trans people. Has anybody in here seen